What's up, guys? Got some more Zyback Cleave slash Demon Kitty, whatever you want to call this comp. We're currently the only people running it, so do we get to name it? Somebody should think of a stupid name like KFC or Turbo for this. But I think on Tuesday, this comp's going to be very good. Demonology is getting some serious buffs. 10 to 20% damage buff on literally every single one of their abilities, as well as Demon Bolt fixes that are going to increase that ability's damage. It's going to be awesome, as well as some class nerfs for the stuff that we have trouble with. So a lot of people wanted me to explain this first clip here in my arena dump video, so I'm going to kind of walk you through why that mage got wrecked as hard as he did. So I'm going to get full bleeds on the mage here, rake rip moonfire, rake charge out of that ring of frost, pro tip, and my warlock times his observer with combustion. So when that mage pops combustion, he wants to spam out all his instants, and when that observer is out, every time he uses a harmful spell, it hits him for 5% of his health. So you time those two things up, and the mage ends up wrecking himself, and we're not even on him outside of bleeds. Next game up against Novos, I didn't stealth because I don't know why. I think I was distracted and just not paying attention. I've never done that before, but whatever. So this next game is against Novos and his rank 1 buddies. I think this Druid's a rank 1, the Warrior's rank 1, and Novos is obviously a rank 1. If you don't know who Novos is, he's like BlizzCon champion, I think. I think he won it one year, maybe not. I know he's been to BlizzCon like 4 times. Very good player, obviously. He's always been an elemental shaman, which is something I've always thought was cool. I said that in my previous video. I've always thought it was cool when people played like the one spec, and they've always been known for playing, especially something like Ret or an elemental, which has not typically been the greatest throughout the history of WoW. But anyway, so we're facing off against Novos. It's got to get some revenge on him from Season 8. He fucked me up in Season 8 with Thugonomics, and I think they were running with like a Pally. God damn it, that was some bullshit. Fuck that. Anyway, so this game starts off a little bit slow. I'm going to come out of this route and get some decent spread pressure going here. Shadow Meld Rake onto him, build my rip up on him here, and we start to wear him down here a little bit. The rot is getting ready to begin. They're starting to run out of cooldowns. The Druid's blown through some stuff, I believe, at this point, and the rot is getting ready to commence. So everybody's at full health, looking all right, and here's where it's going to start to fall apart for them. They're going to start to feel the moonfires, feel the rips, feel those leg kicks, essentially, what we're doing here. And look, they're all starting to whittle down. The Warrior's starting to whittle down, the Shaman's starting to whittle down, Druid's starting to whittle down. I get a nice play right here, here in a second. I'm going to full bleed that Druid. Then I'm going to root that Warrior's avatar, get bleeds on the Warrior, then root his avatar, then kick the Cyclone so the Druid can't dispel the Warrior out of the roots. So the Warrior's sitting in roots with avatar up, and the Druid can't dispel him. So that was a pretty neat little play by me, if I do say so myself. And we are just really, really laying into this Shaman and everyone else at the same time. Like, the Warrior's low, the Druid's low, Shaman is low. I actually tried to kill this Druid. I think my Warlock locks him right there, and I tried to kill the Druid, but my Warlock killed the Shaman first, and then the Warrior's basically dead too. So, wearing him out, boys, wearing him out. So, next game is against, this is against Supatease, Metaphorz, and I can't see the mage's name, Sandy? I don't know who that is. I'm gonna assume probably pretty good mage. I'm not familiar with the name. But anyway, these are also very good players. Metaphorz, I think, is a tournament player. Supatease is literally the guy that commentates BlizzCon. I think he's got a few rank 1s. Dude, when you get to like 2100 MMR right now with the season just started, dude, the game just throws you to the wolves. So anyway, Warlock puts his observer down. His observer starts really zapping them right there with... It's a good observer. It really starts wearing them out, and we've got crazy pressure at the start of this game. However, this is a comp that can survive. Like, this comp can really stall and survive with Moonkin Cyclones, and this Moonkin in particular, very good with Cyclones and stalling and surviving. And they're fucking full moon, dude. It is scary. So here, honestly, this is a scary comp for the burst, but outside of those full moons, they're not particularly threatening, in my opinion. You've just got to really watch out for the full moons. And spam it. Yeah, the greater pyroblasts are a little scary too, but I think the real telltale telegraph here is the full moons. If you can see those coming, you know that the burst is coming. So, kind of a slow game here. I shut him, pounce to stop that clone. We get some decent spread here. Nothing too crazy. Kind of a slow-paced game. Just trying to dot everything up. But as you can see, we are really starting to pull ahead on mana. That shaman is having to heal way more than our paladin is. The only reason they're really getting us slow is because they're CCing the shit out of our pally. But he's not having to heal that much really. So we're just trying to keep my dots up and everything. Everything's kind of spread out, which is a little bit annoying. A little too spread out for my liking. There's my Warlock's next Observer. It's zapping people like crazy. His Observer goes off this game, and the Mage ends up having to block right there, which is pretty good. So, things are all right for us here. Not too crazy, though. And this is where they almost get me. So, get my bleeds up, and the full moon is coming. So, I see the full moon coming. Kick the pyro. Fucking, dude, I pre-wall the full moon, and it almost gets me. Oh man, it's crazy. It really is a pretty insane amount of damage that comes out right there. That would have killed me like at 80% life if I didn't like pre-wall that. That would have been nuts. So yeah, not much to really say here. Just PvE, PvE, PvE. Let me scroll out here and see what's next on the timeline here. Oh yeah, so pretty much just this for another about minute of just trying to keep my dots up and everybody. The shaman is I think what we should have done here is used all of our CC on the DPS. Like I think my paladin like hodges the shaman, and I think at this point we need to really start playing defensively. I need to just start spamming heals on myself. Honestly, just going caster form I think would have been the best thing I could have done here. Just go caster form and just spam heals on myself. Like yeah, if they lock me, whatever. There's my next observer from the Warlock here. It starts going pretty ham. Really, what we should have done here, honestly, is we should have just used all of our CC, all of our Hodges, all of our spell locks, everything on the DPS. Like we would have won this game eventually. The shaman is completely tapped on mana, and I could have just started healing. I really should have just started, getting out in caster form and just healing myself until I got topped. And we end up losing this game, but we gave him one hell of a game, and I wanted to post that anyway just because it kind of shows off some spread pressure. Think we would have won that game if I just would have not been so bonehead aggressive here. Up next, we got another game against Metaphorz. This is a few days later. This time he's playing Kitty Cleave with a rank 1 warrior and a rank 1 feral. Hype, who's actually one of the top ferals in the US right now. Last time I checked, he was like number 2, so that's pretty cool. Our paladin lagged out, so he is standing there on his mount, and he can't do anything because his UI like froze up or something, and he's just standing there. So luckily they fear him, so he sits the fear, and we get that out of the way. But it'd have been nice if he was in the game. But we actually get a decent start this game, even though he's lagged out. We get a decent start. We get the feral to half, we get the warrior to half, we get some good spread pressure going. I mess up here. I get off that shaman before I rake him. That was a bit of a mistake. The warrior gets to about 10%, has to pop die by the sword. The feral's at like 30%. So we're looking all right now, trying to get my bleeds up on the feral, and I've got a pretty cool little trick coming up for you here. So I'm going to switch to the shaman right here and build some combo points on him. So get the rake on him, get the savage roar up on him, start building some combo points. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get 4 combo points right there, shadow mode rake the druid, then rip him, and I just put a ton of damage on that feral really quick while being on the shaman most of the time. So I'm trying to harass the shaman, make him have to worry about interrupts and just me being in his face. So that's Shadow Meld. Shadow Meld at 4 combo points. Rake, Rip. It's really good combo because when you Shadow Meld Rake, it does double damage, and then the Rip. It's the best thing you can do as a feral when it comes to like a hard swap. Right now, because our damage is really delayed. It's just kind of the way it is. So that's a cool little tip that helps you. We almost get the game. We almost win the game right here. So my Warlock's gonna put Fel Lord down on both of them, and that warrior jumps in and fears it. If that warrior wouldn't have feared that, I think we would have won because I had a bash for hype. I was going to bash him in the Fel Lord, and he had no trinket. He probably would have died. So the warrior saved the game right there for him. I don't know if he meant to do that, but it's a good play regardless. Fast forward a little bit. This game was very PvE intense, spamming damage. So this is a pretty pivotal moment in the game. They get our Warlock low, but the only reason they get our Warlock that low is because our Paladin manages to sneak a drink. So our Paladin grabs some mana. We kind of retreat there for a little bit, and now we're going to push ahead and try to push on the Shaman. The reason we're trying to get on the Shaman is because when we go Shaman, they all naturally clump up because it's double melee cleave, right? It's double melee. And he's going to drop a Feral Lord on all of them. A Paladin comes in and hodges him. He gets out. I don't know how the fuck he got out of that. Whatever. But they're all stacked up on this Feral Lord back behind these boxes. We've got some, that's good for us, obviously. So, got some good damage going out here. And I don't think we don't get them with that, though. They get low. But we can't quite finish them off quite yet. They're gonna hang on for a little bit, but the Shaman is starting to run out of mana. The Druid's starting to heal, which is good for us. Feral Druid's healing. Yes, Feral Druids do have good off healing, but typically when Feral Druids are having to off heal, it's not going good. It's desperation mode. So they do peel me. There's the maim. That's another thing when it comes out from Feral Druids. It's not typically a good sign, but I get a re-stealth on this warrior, get the double rake damage, get the rip, and then I'm going to jump over to the Shaman here, get the kick on him, get a Tiger Fury reset. So got some serious damage coming up here with some Tiger Fury resets and full bleeds on everybody. Get the Moonfires up on everybody. Things are starting to rot down quite a bit. And not too much to really say here other than just look at their health bars all slowly whittling down. And we got a Feral Lord coming up here in a minute, so we jump on the Shaman. Everybody's naturally clumped up. Down goes the Feral Lord. He swings, hits the warrior, kills him. Feral dies, and the Shaman is almost dead as well. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Looks like all that world first rating is starting to pay off, because take a look at that damage. Woo, it's coming in hot, that game. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.